I'm going to start generating a video with our new Firefly tools. I'm going to create a lion in a jungle walking with some monkeys in the background, because then we're going to add sound effects to it and mix it in Premiere Pro in less than 2 minutes. Grass, footsteps. What Firefly is doing is taking my voice recording and modulating the new sound effects of the footsteps for the lion. I went from having no sounds at all to now having a full sound design. I did a sound design in just a couple of minutes. Now I can bring this to Premiere Pro.
Aw, you're the best.
Kylie Pena, everyone.
Thank you, Kylie, for letting us share your video. Great to see you two out at IBC working together. Adolfo, hello.
Yeah, hello, thank you. Nice to see you all, and I'm really happy to be here. So yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here and talk about audio.
Of course. And what the show today, as all of you will know if you've seen the intro, it's about Gen AI sound design and about how that workflow is going to be panning out. Adolfo's here to give us a really good deep dive into the whole thing. But before we do that, Adolfo, we'd love to know a bit more about you.
Oh, yeah. So my name is Adolfo Hernandez. I'm originally from Mexico City, but I've been living all around the world. I lived for years in Spain, where actually I kickstarted my audio career. I work in post-production studios over there doing advertising. I also did music engineering over there. And my career was actually, I started studying acoustical engineering, and then I really pivoted into sound design. After being there in Spain for a couple of years, I actually moved to Vancouver because I really wanted to get more into sound design for films and games. And that's where I studied a diploma in Vancouver Film School to study sound design for visual media. And that really just kind of like complemented my passion for what it's audio for video and for games. And yeah, then after that, I really got into the industry working as a sound designer for films. So a lot of my career has been in doing sound for film, sound design. I was a dialogue editor mainly, and then I was a supervising sound editor for multiple films until I moved to the US 12 years ago to continue my career in sound. I have never stopped doing sound, so that's something that I'm really happy about it. And after that, I came to the US to work for Halo 5 Guardians, where I was a sound designer for sound implementation for the game. And that just took to a lot of things over there.
That's the crew signing your thing there?
That's the crew, yeah. That's the Halo 5 Guardians poster. The thing on the top was actually my name tag on my studio that I had over there. I worked for them for 2 years until we released it. And then I moved to Microsoft to do other HoloLens stuff.
But you won an award there for that, right? That work
there. I won the Motion Picture Sound Editors for Best Cinematic Audio for Halo 5. That was,
well done, man. Yeah.
That was something that I really, I was so happy when that happened. We put a lot of passion to it. We recorded all the sounds. We went to Warner Brothers to record gunshots and everything. I mean, it was a huge production thing. It was super curated, and I mean, and I'm glad that it was recognized because of a lot of people working on these cinematics and the in-game sounds that it made it happen. So yeah, and after that, 4 years ago, I was hired at Adobe to start with the goal of start creating the audio features that you have always dreamed of, and it's like what you always wanted as a sound editor, as a video editor, and just trying to bring all the learnings that I had for a couple of years and put it all together and start to make a difference in the software that I love. That I actually started sound in Premiere Pro when I was in high school. I edited a video for high school, and that's how I got into Premiere Pro. And so it was kind of like a full circle coming back here. And I was like, oh wow, that's the first software. I didn't even start with an audio editor. I started with Premiere Pro to edit that. So it was pretty cool to close that circle like that. Yeah. So it's been years for that.
And you've just answered our first two questions. Who are you and what drives you? You've just told us you're passionate about tech and about creatives. The funny thing is, it gets us onto the next bit here as well, which we want to cover, which is clearly you've come from a background where audio and sound design was a very manual process, but gradually it's become more and more automated. And I know there's a lot of concern out there from people are worried about Gen AI replacing them. As far as I can see, that's not quite the case. Do you want to give us your take on that? Because,
Absolutely. I see Gen AI and the same way that I've been working with audio. I mean, I started editing tape, and the same tape I actually then moved into digital audio workstations, and just the technology has been advancing. I really see, and I know that this sounds like a commercial because everyone has heard this, but I see AI as a tool. It's just another tool for me to do the craft that I love, that it's creating sound design. I'm still in the center of it. I'm still driving the generation. Sound design, it's about combining and having taste and being able to tell a story. It doesn't matter where your sounds are coming from. You can record them, you can generate them, you can buy a sound effects library. It's all coming together for you to decide what works in every single moment. So for me, it's another tool. It's how I can spend less time doing the tedious work in a lot of times and just being more creative. I mean, I think that's the goal of every sound designer. That's why it's not sound engineering. I love the word sound design. And I know that Randy Tom and Ben Bird have always pointed that, and they wanted to mention that even during the Academy Awards. It's like, it's a position. It's you're designing. You're part of that crew that you're telling a story through it. So yes, I'm 100% sure that it's how you use it and how you enhances your workflow. And that's why I see it as a tool. Yeah.
So Kyle, sorry, Carl. Who's Carl? Kyle, you've used, over the course of the many centuries you've been alive, you've used sound effects libraries and stock music, stock film. So you've used these things. What's your feeling about how this is panning out, about the introduction of Gen AI for sound effects workflows?
Is it friend or foe AI? Well, there's basically three types of AI, right? There's generative AI. There's the augmented workflow AI, the tools that don't create stuff, but and then there's that analysis AI that look at your assets and coordinate it, that save a lot of time. Yeah, agentic. Thank you. So there's the learning AI, and then there's the sort of like practical, embedded, you don't even see it AI. And when people talk about the fear of AI and the loss of jobs, it's a pretty tough question because there's three different modalities here. And Adolfo, I think that for you, coming as a creator, creating a tool that makes it easy for more people to create audio with their voice, how is that impacting industry and jobs in your perspective?
Let's translate that. I mean, I love that you guys have seen this, the module that we have just released in Firefly, that it's text to sound effects. And what I would describe this, it's like having a sound effects library with steroids. And it's basically grabbing sound effects that are again generated, or you could grab from a library, and then in the analog world, if you want to call it like that, you put it into a sampler, and then with a sampler, you can modulate it or trigger it the moment that you want to. Well, we have simplified that step, that instead of doing that process, you can drive that with your own voice. And it basically, the voice is just an input. It helps you drive the dynamics and the pacing of the sound that is going to be generated. So you're actually customizing the sound effects from the beginning instead of having to bring that in and then having to edit. I mean, how painful is to edit footsteps or even do it as a Foley, right? Even Foley artists, sometimes I have to do this. So it's just
let's just look at that, Adolfo, because for years I've done a lot of post, like yourself, a lot of sound effects post, and often what I would have ended up doing in the past is spotting the effects. Maybe it's, as you say, footsteps, and I would grab a microphone and go bomb, 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 because that way I can see the waveforms. Yes. Then I would have to search through my library and bring in the appropriate sound effects, but I knew where to time them. That was the thing. I was still using a mic to do that because it was the quickest way of spotting effects, right?
Yeah, or you use markers, right, as well. Or you could
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Or putting the markers in, whichever. I happen to use a microphone. Now, what this is doing is that But it's also adding not just the timing in the sync, but also the dynamic of the sound effects. So if you're doing a roar, a lion roar, for instance, as we saw you doing, it's knowing that it needs to open up the roar.
Yeah.
It understands the dynamic.
And I go back to the footsteps. Sometimes you want a hard footstep, but don't want you like soft footsteps. So the best instrument that humans have is their voice. We use it every day. We train it. We have used it. We have learned how to. Basically being an expert on it. So the moment that we start doing sounds with our voice and the dynamics, we can quickly act them and perform them. We're all natural performers. Even if two people told me, but I don't know how to act. But I was like, but you can talk. And you can say, you can do words and use your voice for that. So that's what it's taking that. And I love it. I mean, it's not everyone, even as video editors, you don't have a complete studio, like completely isolated. You don't have good microphones. You don't have different, even for footsteps. I'm going to go back to that because you don't have different surfaces that you can walk to. With Firefly, we're giving you the option to create that environment by typing the prompt or kind of like grabbing that and then perform it and act it in dynamics, like basically the performance of it, and also adding the specific sound and timing for it. So again, it's another tool that it's to the power. You don't need a complicated MIDI controller to be able, or a sampler. You don't need to have a lot of expertise in audio. It's really as simple as recording your voice, typing it, and you're calling in sounds that are going to be tailored and unique for your picture. Yeah.
And
okay, that brings us to a bit of housekeeping here, real quick. Okay, so we'd like to tell you what we do, what we're going to have in the latter half of the show at the beginning, and we just jumped right in, Adolfo, because it's just so what you have so much passion, it's crazy. Everybody, we have quite a cool treat because Adolfo's going to demo 4 different demos of the software interface, basically generative video to generative sound effects. Andrew?
Yeah, we're going to have Gen AI spotting, which is what we're talking about now. Spotting and sync using voice. Media intelligence for audio and audio tagging. Just finding the assets is often the biggest pain. You can have the big library, but so that's something which he's going to be demoing. And lastly, of course, once you've generated all these sound effects or created these sound effects, transferring it into Premiere Pro so you're ready to start mixing. And that's where the art of the sound designer comes. It's the mix and how you blend and tell the story. So that's what we're going to be covering, and that's what Adolfo is going to be covering in his demos.
And one more thing, I want a big shout out to our sponsors, Lucid Link. Thank you guys, because without you, we wouldn't be here doing this cool show. And so there's Lucid Link and Digital Anarchy. Awesome, thanks, Jim. Appreciate you guys for helping us out, making sure that we can bring this, intelligent conversation about bringing tech head nerds to creatives for a discussion. This is awesome. There we are. So, Andrew,
in fact, just to cover that, I've got a project coming up where Lucid Link is going to be critical to us to being able to upload and deliver that with a team shared across different countries. And I'm going to be using Digital Anarchy's Flickr Free and/or their facial enhancement, their beauty box. Yeah. They're great guys. Flickr Free is an astonishing plugin. Yeah, go get it. But there we go. There we go. Our wonderful sponsors.
Thank you. Okay, so Adolfo, do you want to start in on the first demo? Yeah. Or actually, Andrew, you had that video. Hold on, we have a video to play, right, Andrew?
We do have a video to play, but just because we're running, we're doing okay on time. I just wanted to.
I think we're good.
Ask.
Let's show Adolfo in the field. Let's show Adolfo in the field at IBC.
Before we do that, what other benefits are there to Gen AI? So for people that feel threatened by it, what other benefits are there for it?
I think it's a way for them. Gen AI or Gen AI can have different ways. I actually think it's enhancing your workflow. Some type of technology from the AI will help you remove tedious tasks that you always been wanting not to do. I mean, you don't want to focus on those things. You just want those to be automatic for you so you can spend time for that. And the other one, it's really giving you another dimension of creativity, right? It's something that it's really getting into a different world where you can acquire things or create things that you couldn't imagine before. Maybe you could imagine them, but you didn't have a way to create them all together. So for me, it's really about enhancing your workflows, reducing the tedium, and the other part is really allowing you to get into this new dimension of creativity that sometimes you were limited by technology, and right now it's just exponentially let you do even more. So whenever you can imagine something that it's crazy, and sometimes you didn't know how to get to that result, I think Gen AI will let you get to that craziness. We can all be crazy creators, crazy artists, really trying to complete our vision, and it's just a different way to enhance your vision using Gen AI moving forward.
And just before we do cut to this video, go on. Sorry, Carl, you had something to say.
Thanks. Yeah, I was just going to say, when I worked as a first AD on feature films, I was asked by a director who had never had a first AD on his side, "What do you do? What does a first AD do?" I said, and I had to think. It was like, I reduce the logistics to get more creative time. And this is what we're talking about here. So an assistant editor using AI will get more creative time cutting story rather than doing those logistics, tedious tasks. And this is where that discussion about jobs versus evolution in our creative process.
I mean,
there's one other thing to go with that, which is we talked yesterday. We had a call yesterday where Adolfo and Carl and I talked about what we were going to do in the show. One of the things to come out of that is, of course, there are very few people. Sound effects originally started with Foley artists going out and recording with microphones, people crunching on gravel and recording traffic going by. But the vast majority of people don't have budget for a Foley artist, right? So we have been using sound effects in library form on tape, on disc, digitally for years. What this is doing is giving us access to effects, but in a much faster, much more coherent way. So it's an evolution of what sound effects has always been, which is for most projects, something which you need really fast to be able to turn around. And that's exactly what this tool does.
I mean, at the end, it's democratizing sound design, right? It's sound design for everyone. Sound design shouldn't be something that only a couple of people should do. You can enhance your video with sound, because a good sound design makes your video look better. A bad sound design can make your video look bad. So I think it's something, that's why it's 50 and 50% of the experience, right? And we should never forget that. Yeah.
I think that's absolutely right. So look, I'm going to play. We've got a video of Adolfo appearing at the IBC exhibition in Amsterdam. Here we go.
I'm going to start generating a video with our new Firefly tools. I'm going to go into firefly.adobe.com and I'm going to create a lion in a jungle walking with some monkeys in the background, because then we're going to add sound effects to it and mix it in Premiere Pro in less than 2 minutes. I'm going to click generate. I put lion in the jungle walking. And I'm going to click generate. Give me a second while it generates. I'm going to upload my video of my lion. So now I have this video that has no sound. Like that. It has lion roar, there's some monkeys, and we want to do a jungle episode. So I'm going to add a couple of tracks over here. And first of all, I'm going to try jungle ambience, okay? So I'm going to click generate really quick, and this will give me 4 variations. Or a variation 2. Ooh, I like that. That has a little bit more birds with it. What about the footsteps? I want to have some footsteps. So I'm going to play grass footsteps. Perfect. And then I want to sync them to the picture. So I'm going to use my microphone here, and I'm just going to imitate with my voice the footsteps of that lion. So you guys ready? Let's go and do it. So 3, 2, 1. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. And that's it. So now I'm going to click generate. And now what Firefly is doing, it's taking my voice recording and modulating the new sound effects of the footsteps for the lion. It's already done, so let's hear how it sounds. And let's press play. So now let me do some lion roars. So I'm gonna record again. Ooh, I really like that one. Okay, I'm done with my monkeys. I'm gonna generate them really quick. Oh, perfect. So I'm just gonna insert it over here. I'm gonna play it back. So I went from having no sounds at all to now having a full sound design. Now I can bring this to Premiere Pro. So now I have full control over every single stem, and I'm pretty much done. I did a sound design in just a couple of minutes.
Where can people find this?
Oh, they can just go to firefly.adobe.com, go to the Gen Sound Effects module, and start generating today.
It's the Auckland. Aw, you're the best.
The wonderful Kylie Pena.
The video was
Thank
not
you.
bad at all. Kylie just came. I was in the booth. I was finishing talking with a customer, and I literally started creating something. It was completely impromptu. It was not planned, and I mean, it turned out really good. I really love showing that. And the lion roar actually has a little bit of backstory, Andrew. I'm going to take 30 seconds to tell this.
Yeah, go.
One of the first sounds that we generated with Gen AI in our module were lion roars. So the Adobe research team that it's working, it's called SODA, the Sound Design Research Group. We were always obsessed by lions, and we keep doing lion roars when we're doing demos, even internally. So I have this thing on my mind that I need to create a lion roar, and I always do an example of lion roar because I've been doing lion roars for a year and a half or almost 2 years. So, yeah. So when you see demos of lion roars, it's because internally we really like, it's kind of like our mascot at this point for the sound design group.
So we're going to get into the demos now. We're going to ask you to get into demos, but just one observation here. You've just shown us a perfect example why that would work perfectly for social media or for a quick advert, but not for high-end TV, because the monkeys that we're seeing and the monkey chatter may not be the same monkey. It may be a different monkey species. We don't know. It's just generically given as monkey chatter. So that's where the sound design come in. You've got the marker for everything, and then you can go and find the right. That's the sound designer's job, right? So you're not being replaced anytime yet. So what do you think?
So just adding to that, thank you. What is this tool for? Who is it for? Right? And people are afraid of losing their jobs. Well, guess what? People who work in broadcast television and theatrical, this is not exactly for them other than for ideation. You're not going to get finished anytime soon. They're still going to have to create actual precision sound effects that match the actual engine of the car, that match the type of exact bird, all the way around. For social media, for content creators who can't afford to pay for a sound designer and a Foley artist, this is a pretty good tool, and it pushes the boundaries. It pushes the quality boundary too for all content on YouTube and that.
I mean, there's nothing like going outside, and if you have a Lamborghini B whatever model, it's like going out there and record it. Yes, that's part of the craft as well, right? Maybe what you can do is like you can create, but then you can layer a sound that you generate also with Firefly. So you're combining both of them. Now you're using two tools to give you even a better sweetener. Maybe you create a sweetener with Gen sound effects to make the rev of the car even more aggressive, right? Because you can layer a lion roar into the rev sound. So you can do that.
A lion roar.
I mean, I came that, but I did that a lot with Halo. It's like a lot of the car pass-bys in the cinematics, you will have the warthog like go passing by, and we would actually use organic animal sounds underneath it to give it a unique character to it. That's the goal of a sound designer. It's kind of like bringing that thing to life. And that's one of the things that I love about it. So you can use both. I mean, you can go and record, you need a sweetener, and you don't have lion roars or tiger roars or whatever it is. Let's generate it and add them to that. So it's another layer to it. Now you're sound designing. And that's the thing about this tool. Yeah.
And this tool also gives you all the time. So even for high-end production, you can get markers laid out and sync really quickly using your voice. It's a great thing. So look, I think we should get into some demos. So you were going to show us, you were going to show us the Firefly panel and app so we can have a look at how exactly what that looks like. Should we start there, or do you want to start somewhere else, Adolfo?
I think we've been talking so much about Firefly that we can talk about that, and then we can jump about other type of audio AI that we've been working on and why we're working on that. But I think that would be excellent.
Okay, so do you want to share your screen?
Could you share your screen?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So let me know if you can see it and
stand by.
Audio.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So
sweet.
First of all, I want to just give you an overall before going here to, this is the Firefly website. And this is where, if you go to generate, you have different things that you can generate. Yes, you can generate images, you can generate video, and you can generate audio. One of the coolest things about this, because we're talking about audio, is that if you go to text to video today, and you choose models such as BO3, for example, you can actually include a reference sounds with it. And this is something really cool because if you're generating a video and you want a reference sound and you don't have a lot of time, actually the model will try to sync the appropriate sounds to that generation. Now, that audio or that soundscape that you're creating there might not be complete, might not be the best, but then every single generation that you can take from here, you can take it automatically to the sound design module. If you go to generate and you go to audio, you go to text to sound effects. And this is kind of like the UI, the website that you're going to get to. Now, this is not a digital audio workstation. This is not Premiere Pro. This is for you to start ideating on what are the right sounds for you to start playing with your video. So if you see on the left part of the screen, you have this section that calls the prompt. This is where you describe the sound effect that you want to create. One thing that I want to emphasize is that the way that you write this prompt is not the way that you write a prompt in ChatGPT or in any other LLMs. It's not something that you describe. I'm going to go, I need an ambience of a beach scene with kids playing, waves crashing, and seagulls. No, it's not going to create compound sounds. So it's going to create one-time effects, kind of like birds chirping, lion roars, footsteps. So you have to be really descriptive of the type of sound effect that you want to do. So just imagine yourself looking for a sound in a sound effects library. You don't look for these compound sounds. You look for countryside ambience. You look for a city ambience or birds, like that. So that's really specific because if not, it will give you bad results. Then you have this thing called duration. You can adjust the duration of the sound that you want to create if you don't use voice performance. But this is the part that I love, and it's the add timing. This add timing, voice performance, people are calling different ways, but this is where you can record your voice that will be used to modulate the sound. And what it's going to affect, again, it's the pacing and the dynamics. So how loud or how soft it is. I mean, there's so much more stuff that we could drive with this, with our input. But one thing that I want to just emphasize, you don't need to use only voice. You can use any type of sound. So I have in my house, I have these drumsticks. And sometimes when I do stuff, I just go to the table and do like that. And it's even a little bit more accurate for some type of sound. So depending of the type of sound that you want to pace or create the dynamics, you can use different instruments with it. I see people using their guitars. I can see people using their drumsticks. I use one of our research was using a saxophone the other day, and it was really cool. You just start getting creative, and you can just go in any different ways with that. And then,
can you show us? Is there a chat? Quick question: can you zoom into the area on the screen here? Just so that we can see a little closer. It's okay if you can't, but I'd love to see how the interface a little closer if possible, and if you can get in there and show us practically how to do it, if you would.
Yeah,
that's okay. You don't have to zoom in.
I can zoom in, but yes, for example, first, what I'm going to do right now, really quick, I'm going to upload a video that I have in my here in my hard drive, and yes, why not? I'm going to use the lions because we love lions here. And so the moment that I do lions, you have it here, and it will do that. I like creating, allows you right now, this module, to create 5 tracks. So it's really that thing that we were talking about. It's ideating. It's like trying to figure out what are the right sounds, or if you have a 30-second short video, you can actually do it over here. But the only thing that you need to do, for example, here, it says lion roar. I can adjust the timing of that lion roar, and it will give me an 8-second lion roar, or I can record the timing. The only thing that you need to do is literally press record. It's going to 3, 2, 1. And then basically, this is my voice performance now.
That's pretty good on its own.
So this is part of it. If you guys saw, I didn't do the lion roar. I did visualizations of that. And that's what I love about this, because you can get super creative with what it is, and the model will understand that. So I just have to click generate. And
Can I throw you a curveball?
Sorry? Yes, go for it.
Can I throw you a curveball? Because we've seen this lion roar done as an exact lion roar. Would it be possible to do a lion roar that's a little bit more friendly and more youthful?
Meow. A cat
yeah,
meow.
Meow.
Yeah, so take it. You've done the lion roar lots, and we know that it works. So I'm going to give you a stress test here, pal.
Yeah,
Sorry, Adolfo.
No.
Thank you for indulging.
We can do, I'll do it differently with a different vocalization, so you guys can see something like that. Or I can actually...
Can you do
a prompt?
Cat meow. Cat meow. That would be great.
Perfect.
And then I'm just going to click generate. This is gonna be interesting. Maybe we can do baby crying next.
Yeah, anything. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, you can have different type of that.
Or it'd be fun to mix that with the lion roar too. Can you do it? Keep the track you have. Keep the track you have if you can.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then they may put.
And then we can layer them, because that's the cool
just
thing.
put baby crying right now. Just why not?
Yeah.
And you got the same performance. It's in sync with the video, and then you have that. But you can also put the lion roar, and I'm using the same file to drive the generation. I'm gonna, once it does that, I'm gonna add it in this one, and we can hear them all together. So I'm gonna put those two together. Let me. It has the ability to trim as well, so you can trim your clips over here. And if you click on you can change volume. So it's not a full DAW. Again, you don't have you can't add delays, reverbs, compression, or like that. Again, it's ideating, kind of like getting like a just quick premix between elements. And then if you basically layer both of them. You can just go and start doing placements. But this is the thing. I was able to sync and tailor a specific sound to my picture without having for me to find multiple sound effects in a library, trying to sync them, time compression, expansion. A lot of folks don't have time to do that. And sometimes it's just really hard. You can't get that right lion roar or footsteps or even clothing. I mean, that's one thing that I love about it. A lot of people tells me, how do I give my videos more to feel more alive? And I was like, well, you have to think about how you sound design, right? When a person walks, it's not only the footsteps or them talking, it's also the cloth rustling. And those elements all together, that's what it brings it. So you can put cloth here, for example, like that, and then you can I can generate with that. But you will hear, you can do the pacing also with it, and you can create Foley that way. And that's actually something that I love doing with this type of tool.
So what is where is this being trained from?
So,
where is the language model being trained from?
That's a really good question. This model was trained with multiple data sets of sound effects around that. Adobe was really careful to acquire and license and get the right permissions and for these sound effects. This is not data sets or sound effects that we just found anywhere. These are actually sound effects that were actually acquired and paid to be able to train this model. So it's been, we're really on the top of being really ethical about having the right media and having compensated the right people that give us those libraries. So there's sound artists selling data sets to Adobe to be able to create these models. So they're constantly recording, they're building this up and up. and just so we can now keep creating a better model moving forward. And that's why
I'm going to just point out this is what the Content Authenticity Initiative is all about, you guys. This transparency, content management. And the ideal thing would be that someone could snag your footage, your image, and you would get paid for it without having to post it somewhere and having some agent represent you. So if someone has it and it's embedded, the Content Authenticity Initiative, ideally, and it's long, it's not happening now this way, but it would be ideal if it's tagged and you always have revenue streams if someone borrows your artwork or creates new artwork with using your artwork.
Yeah, and what I love about this is like it's the same way me as a sound recordist. I mean, I was a sound recordist. I recorded for multiple sound libraries, like for a lot of years. It's like I would sell my sounds for those sound effects libraries so everyone can use them. Now I can sell these sounds if I have a really good collection, maybe to Adobe, so they can train a model that everyone can use. And because I actually got paid for that purpose, I mean, it's part of a job. I can keep recording. There's so many sounds to capture in the world that you can go crazy and create sound libraries, and that will help also create more sound effects data sets that will let us do that. Now, once I generate a sound, this is really cool to highlight. You own the rights of that sound effect. So you can actually synchronize that to a movie, to an advertising, to anything like that. So it's kind of like a sound effects from a sound effects library. You buy the sound effects and you have your rights for synchronization. So this is the same way. Yeah.
And that's a really important point, because I know a lot of people worry about, if they get given sound effects, how do they know those sound effects aren't based on someone else's work that they've done and they have the rights to use it? Using this tool means you know absolutely that the sound effects you end up with, you have the rights to use. It's so certainly for social media or whatever, this is a real boon. You're going to be putting stuff out there that's covered.
I mean, me as a sound designer, me as an artist, this was one of my main things that I talked to the team when we started developing this stuff. I wanted to make sure that the data sets that we were using were ethically acquired and licensed and all of that, and also that the people could use it anywhere that they could. And one thing that I love about this is that you can actually download every single variation from your generation. So I personally have been building my own sound library with this generation. So that way, I don't have to come back and generate if you don't need to. If you already did a couple of line words, you don't need to create another line word. Maybe you can reuse that. So it's a way for also to kind of like reuse and create your sound library as it goes. The same way that you can go and record sounds, you can generate them and create your sound library, which it's something that I'm really passionate about. I have more than 5 terabytes of sound effects that I've been collecting through the last 22 years. And this is just adding to that. And I mean, it's kind of like collecting pins or anything like that. It's kind of like my addiction. But yes, it's just really cool. They're tailored sounds for that. Yeah.
So there's a couple of things there that I think we should just cover. Some people I know will be wondering, well, this is all good, but I'm not mixing the sound here. How do I mix the sound? And I know you're going to do a demo for us also showing off how you can transfer the sounds you create here into Premiere, where you can do the mix,
Yeah.
which is exactly what we want. But before we do that, just coming back to the voice-driven thing that you mentioned, voice, and you mentioned drumsticks, etc. We know, as sound designers, you and I both, we know that sometimes you need a really percussive front end to something. Maybe it's a bullet shot or an accident or something. And sometimes you need that sort of thwack thing, that thing where you get from a golf swing or a bicycle.
Or reverse whip. Reverse whip, right?
Yeah, reverse symbol. All of those things. Now, what's really good is what you've described is that this takes account of whatever the sound source is. So if you're using a drumstick to hit a table, if you're doing that as opposed to whoa, you're essentially creating the envelope, the attack, decay, sustain, release, the envelope that shapes the sound. So that's saving you a huge amount of time, because quite often as sound designers, we end up spending an inordinate amount of time just trying to shape the sound. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the engine does that? Is it doing it with frequency as well as volume? How's that working?
Yeah, it's really right now we're really not using frequency. We're using more the dynamics of your voice. It's kind of like your it's the
The
volume.
volume.
It's the volume, basically. We
Okay.
have thought, and there's like a lot of explorations, like what else can we use from our voice? Can we use pitch? Can we use the intonation and to be able to modulate that? So those are different things that we're always thinking. I was like, what else can we do? Because our voice is so complex and it has so many elements that we could translate later on into these variations that we are really excited about it. But right now, it's really the timing and the volume. That's the main things that the model is looking into, and that's how it drives it. So yeah, for example, I did the whoosh thing that you were saying, and so if you see that I created I just prompted whoosh, and it used my voice performance, but it created the envelope of my voice and attached it. So you have the attack, the decay, the sustain, and the release of my voice, and it just gets translated, and that's modulating the generation of it. So it's really that ADSR and the envelope contour of that it's extracting from your voice to be able to print it into the new generation of it. Yeah.
It's a real good
So
fast
Adolfo,
start.
you're on the team with the programming team, you're product manager. So your role in making this work, please, take a couple of minutes just to tell us what do you do? Do you just say, I want sound effects to work, or like how do you
Send me
run
cake.
the team?
Oh, I think this is being like a crazy collaboration with research. When I started with research, I was actually not a product manager, I was a designer. And my input to them, it's really about how would people use it. So I'm the one in a lot of cases testing every single Friday. I set some time from, I wake up really early. So at 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., I'm testing and stress testing the models, and I'm doing sound designs with it, and I'm making sure that what things are working well and what things are not working well, and I give feedback to that team. So it's a continuous loop with them. It's saying like, you know what, I figure out that these type of sounds are not working well when we do this. So it's we're kind of like brainstorming every single week on how we can make these models better. So yes, I give product requirements of what we need, but I'm also really deep into with the research team on how these models should be trained, what are the gaps, how we organize. I mean, when we started organizing the data sets, we even went that deep into using the USC categorization. That is a standard how we categorize sound effects today. And it's like an open source, everyone collaborates on that, because I wanted to make sure that we were using the right words, to be able to translate it into prompts, right? So if someone was looking for a sound, it's not like a random name. It's something that's been standardized, and it's the most common thing to do it. So it's bringing a lot of knowledge from the industry to make this artist-centric, sound design-centric, or video-centric. So that's the goal here. Is like, how can we make these tools that are artist-centric? Well, you need artists in the loop and creating them with the research teams at the same time. A lot of these researchers, they have a lot of experience, but some of them have not. Have a lot of experience with building models, but not with sound. So it's a cross pollination of like collaboration and ideas.
Of technology,
Wow.
creativity, and artistry.
Yeah, so artists can build technology. I mean, we are the ones in the front line using stuff and knowing what we need. And the tools that we're trying to build are really to help us address pain points or enhance workflows that we currently do. So if I don't know the workflows, then I can't build tools, right?
So we have two more demos we want to get
Speaking of
under our
workflow.
belts. Yes, your workflow. So I think we're going to cover media intelligence, but I think we should do that after we've done the transfer. So can you show the whole process of how you transfer into Premiere?
Right now, with this, it's a little bit. It's not being optimized, and we're working on that. And I just want to make one sure about is that right now, to be able to transfer this to Premiere, you have to download every single file. So if you go over here and you click download, it will go to your download folder automatically, and it will get downloaded. Now, this is the same length as your video. So when you bring that into Premiere Pro and you sync it, you should just be able to align your video with your audio at the same time. So I want to show you a more complex, so instead of showing this, I want to show you a more complex sound design that I created using Firefly, but that I brought to Premiere, so you guys can see how it aligned. Is that okay? Can I stop sharing?
Yeah, fantastic.
Cool.
Yes,
Yeah. Why don't you set up your new share, and that'd be great. Adolfo, you're amazing. While you're setting up, I'm just going to talk about sing your praises because I got to say, I was amazed at all the award-winning work you've been doing, and the knowledge you bring to Adobe is just incredible. They're very lucky to have you, man.
Oh, I'm trying just to do my best. I'm really hate saying this, but well, not hate saying this. I really do this because I'm really passionate about it. One of the main reasons why I wanted to work at Adobe, it was because, as you all know, whoever has been in sound has always been seen kind of like the last one in the chain, or like the only child sometimes at that point. And it's because we don't bring it up front. We don't give it that same parity with video. And one of the things that I'm passionate about it working Adobe is that I'm becoming a lawyer for audio. I'm advocating for audio every single time that we build something. So it's like, hey, let's not forget about audio. If this workflow is going to do this, we need to consider channelization. We need to consider how the effects are going to go. And it's an entire team trying to advocate for that. So I'm trying to be a loud voice for this. So
and your passion shines through. I'm hearing an echo here.
Oh, you hear?
Okay, so I've turned off the audio for the playback that you have going on. So we do need to hear sound.
Yeah, let me know if you hear it.
Let's.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what I did here, this video was all created with the Firefly video tool. I actually just prompted. Actually, you can see the prompt over here. It says two samurai warriors engage in a sword fight, sword clashing traditional Japanese battle fight. And I was like, okay, perfect. And it created this video. This was using the new Ray model that it's inside Firefly. If you guys know, Firefly is also now an aggregator. So you don't just have the Firefly modules. You can actually choose whatever module you want with different characteristics, and you can do that. But all these sounds that you hear over here were created with the Gen Sound Effects module. So I created cicadas, like you have like just ambiances. I created the Foley as well. And this was all using my voice. And then I created a lot of sound effects. Even the voice was all generated. So the only thing that I did, I did a little bit more of editing here, but these were all the same sounds that went across the entire video. So I just had to, when I brought them into Premiere, I just brought them as audio files. If you see here, what I love about this is that it gives you the prompt. So if you need to recreate this sound and you want the prompt, you can just use this as the prompt and go back to Gen Sound Effects.
That's really smart.
So having the prompts over there really helps you also get a better naming for the sound effects. So once I did it, I just basically went and one thing I did this sound design in around 10 minutes, and it didn't take me much. I did some like normal, like balancing just of some audio levels and with it, and it basically just started adding fade ins and fade outs. One thing that I love about one of the new features that we just released is that now you can create multi-fade. So I can just like select these two clips, and I can create just multi-fades, and I can align them perfectly so they can have the last ending. This is something that I always wanted in Premiere Pro when I joined 4 years ago, because I do a lot of dialogue editing and sound effects layering, and just being able to do this now in Premiere is just like, it's my
Can you show us that again?
Yeah, so I can select this, I can delete it. I can select, for example, this clip again. And let me select, I do a marquee selection of these 3 clips, and I just drag the fade handle. Oh, sorry. I'm using my computer mouse, and I'm not used to that. And then I go like this, and I can create multi-fades like that. So I can adjust them.
And what's cool too is that you can adjust the bezier. Yeah. That's the beauty part, right?
And that's something that I love about it. Like before, it was really, you didn't have control over the fade curve. So now you can actually adjust the fade curve to just be a little bit more creative when how you want those fadings, and even crossfades too. This also works with crossfades, just so you guys know. You can go up and down and create that, and you can just and you can adjust the fades, or you can just adjust like the size of it. So it's just like it's another way to be able to apply transitions that it's more without having to leave the clip. You just have control all the way over there. But yeah, I mean, right now, this is how you bring these things, these files into Premiere Pro. We're ideating different ways of like, how can we send your entire timeline maybe from Gen Sound Effects into Premiere Pro, so you don't have to do this manual syncing. But these are things that we're working towards. I mean, there's a lot of people, you guys have to believe me that there's a lot of smart people working towards this. There's a lot of complexities when we bring things from a website into your ecosystem in Premiere Pro. But I mean, we're thinking about it, and the more feedback also that you guys give us, we listen. I mean, you guys see me in the Facebook groups, in the community forums. I try to respond as much as possible because I was a user like all of you. I will also complain about tools, and I want people to listen to it. And the greatest ideas, a lot of the time, they come from all of you because you guys are the ones using it. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let me just go back and let me talk to the team. And then we go back, and we don't know the answers for everything. And you guys handle every single edge case in the industry at this point. So we want to know more about those things from you. So
I can tell you what I see that the pain point there is a download upload. I just want to be able to have a project, an open format project that works with Firefly, Premiere, Resolve, and it's interoperability is seamless. Please.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's something that we're ideating. We're like working really hard right now because yes, I see the pain point. I mean, even for me, when I'm doing this stuff, I kind of like go crazy. We just released Premiere Pro on mobile as well. And Gen Sound Effects is actually part of Premiere Pro on mobile. So you can create these sound design.
When we show that,
in Premiere on mobile.
We've got actually a little video to show. Andrew, would you like to
just bear with me? It's number 5. So this is another video specifically shot covering off mobile. Here we go.
Generate sound effects with Adobe Premiere on iPhone. Let's go.
What we have is a Firefly integration where you can generate sound effects. Nice. So you make the sound effect. We have some clips here on the timeline. We got a lion yawning.
Let's go lion. Sure.
Lion. All right. So we go to music and audio, generate sound effects, and we type in what we want. So like lion yawning, and then we can perform the sound. All right. Ready? All right, it's going to give us 4 different options to choose from. So let's see the first one.
Whoa, that's super impressive. Wow.
So then you can just drop it in, and there it is in your timelines.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
One of the beauty things is like if you're in beta, and it just works with Premiere Pro beta right now, if you go to export in Premiere Mobile, you can send your entire sequence to Premiere Pro. So this seamless interaction between both of them, it's beauty. The other day, I was at Bit Summit. I created a sound design, and I was like, oh, I want to finish in Premiere. I just clicked send to Premiere Pro desktop in beta, and basically I had my whole timeline in Premiere Pro, and I can start doing everything else that I love to do in Premiere Pro at that point. So that kind of like interoperability, that's one of our core things that we're looking for.
And we know that you're working hard to make that direct from Firefly to Premiere Pro. That step is coming. But the other thing which you're doing with all these sound effects flying around, one of the things that's really difficult for people is being able to find set the right sound effect in your library that's growing and growing. And what about tagging? Do you have anything on media intelligence for us?
Yes, this is something that the media intelligence team has been working really hard. I love this team. It's in Hamburg, in Germany. Their designer, Mary, is here in the US. I love them with all my heart because they just create beautiful things for us. And how we have been implementing AI in Premiere Pro, it's been actually in steps. And this is something that I want you all to get kind of like an idea of how we're working. Sometimes you guys say, why do you guys add that? It sometimes doesn't make sense. And it's because they're building blocks. Imagine a lot of things that we do, they're like little Lego bricks. And we have to be stacking them up, all of them, to get to the final goal that we want. We can't just put them all in one pass because we will never get any innovation or things get in. But once you guys start seeing the workflows, it's how it starts growing. One thing that I love about are you
going to demo it?
I'm going to
put the screen share.
Oh, I'm not screen sharing. Let's look at that.
I can add in. Are you ready? I want to make sure you have the right Premiere
Not yet.
window
Not
for
yet.
media intelligence. It's coming.
You should have it now.
There we go.
Awesome. Stand by. I'm going to switch to that. Okay, there we are.
So I'm going to go full screen on this so we can see what's going on.
There's two different types of audio intelligence that we've been bringing in Premiere Pro, and it's into steps. And I'm going to explain kind of like where we're going with this. The first of all, I know that some of you might use it, some of you might not use it, but it's called auto tagging. And the auto tagging is like being able to bring a sound effect into the timeline or any type of audio. I think this is actually, let me see. Oh, there you go. If you see, I brought this audio.
Yep.
And this audio, it's actually dialogue. I think it's in. Let me just check. And this is why.
Yeah.
Callium 437, 6 kilometers.
Okay, so this is dialogue. Whenever you bring something into Premiere Pro automatically, you will get kind of like the type of audio that it is. And this is what these badges are for. This is telling you that it's dialogue. And when you click on it, you get the essential sound kind of like tools to be able to work with it. Why? This is the first integration of audio AI that we kind of like audio intelligence that we did in Premiere Pro. And the reason why is that if we start understanding what's in the timeline, we can then build other tools around it. Again, we can use docking more intelligently. Maybe we can help you do some kind of like quick premixes in the future. So this is how the organization is key when it comes to that. So auto tagging is just not like a fancy thing that shows in a batch and you can click the essential sound panel. It's one of the building blocks to be able to understand what is happening, what kind of content you have. If I know what everything is dialogue now in my timeline, maybe I can just export the stem for dialogue, right? So these are the things that we're planning moving on. Is like, how can we create more intelligence and how we can enhance and make your workflows faster? If you guys don't like auto tagging, you can go to audio and you can actually remove auto tag audio types in the timeline automatically. So you just have to like uncheck that on the preferences and you won't get that. Now, you can still tag a file. This is part of the essential sound panel. You can auto tag it and you can let just the system run it, or you can make a decision over here. So if you think that this...
Hey, Adolfo, I just wanted to step in just a real quick thing.
Yes.
So with media intelligence, the amazing engine with video tagging is incredible. So you bring in all your assets, you ingest them. If you set it up right, it'll auto tag all your assets so that you could hit dog and dogs will appear visually. And this also transcends to audio as well, right?
Yes.
If there's dog barking.
Yes. So for example, media intelligence, this is in beta right now. Before that, we were looking to everything visuals, text, and metadata. They just added a new model that actually can find audio. And when it's audio, it's not looking for metadata or labels. It's actually looking into the frequencies, into the content of the audio, and analyzing what contents are there. So if you have recordings that you went, maybe you recorded with a Zoom recorder, right? And then you went outside and recorded dogs, but it's like, oh, I didn't label them. And all the files are called ST_0006. And it's like, now you cannot do that. So for example, here, I can just type something like ocean. And well, there you go. So I have this thing of robot walking, and you're going to hear ocean sounds. So there's an ocean in the background. So it actually can analyze. So it's pretty good. Oh, look at this one. So there's different, or I think this one. Yeah, I mean, all of these are oceans part that you can get. So it's just not analyzing. It's now looking into the frequency response of what sounds like an ocean, what elements go with them. Now, this is actually really tricky. If you see here, like, hey, what does the Airbus 380 have to do with this? Well, oceans sounds are white noise. I mean, there are different types of noises that are combined with it, right? Pink noise, white noise, like the whole gamma of frequencies with it. So when you have elements like airplanes and going like shh, it will get into that kind of like identification with that. So again, it's AI. Sometimes it does something that it doesn't, that might not identify, but it's pretty good because then you can just, I don't think I have dogs over here, but if I type dogs and I have dogs, it will show the dogs moving forward. So this level of intelligence, like right now, you can bring a lot of sounds, you can bring unrecorded sounds, or you're trying to find where that airplane sound is in your file. It will be able to look and say, oh, this is where the take is wrong because there was an airplane flying by. And that
So, Adolfo, what are those things though? Because sometimes we don't have the right sound available. Let me just say, in my experience as a sound editor back in the early days when we didn't have large sound libraries unless you purchased them, I was looking for a film projector sound that would roll out. And if I'd had this tool then, it would have been awesome. But so I searched and searched and searched and searched and searched, couldn't find one that sounded good enough. So I used a jackhammer, duck, 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 and I pitched it down and slowed it. And then I stretched the audio down, and it worked great. It sounded better than if I'd actually recorded it. And so this is the thing, is that when you get into the world of sound, the creativity behind it is amazing. And these tools like this. Now, the other part is layering, right?
Yeah.
Layer, 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 layer.
Yeah, I mean, for example, my first layer of this, it was this in the sword. That sounds, but when I layer it with all the different, let me just mute this one, this one, this one. These are all layers of the sword. So I'm layering different types of swords and clashes with it, and it sounds like this. And there's whooshes there now. So yes, it's about layering, and that's where the sound design starts playing fun. Now I had more time to be more creative here because I didn't have to look into multiple libraries, going and record. I just really wanted to get this sound design done.
And you did this in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
That's
and then
crazy.
I was able to layer more and more and more. And I was able to actually get different variations of this so I can review it with my coworkers, like, hey, which one you like more? Before, that would have taken me even more time. Then I went back and I can just keep polishing it, but I already got kind of like an approval, right? And that's what I love about this. It's like, I got the approval. This is the direction that I need to go. Now, let me be a sound designer now. And I just like.
So speaking of approval,
yeah.
Do you use Frame?
I just Frame. Yes, actually, something really cool. Even at Adobe internally, we use Frame for reviewing almost everything. If I do a demo and I do anything, I upload it to Frame, and all our coworkers will leave markers and all of that, and through that. So even like we use it kind of like imagine that sharing kind of like a document, a cloud document, and you can like making comments. We use Frame for everything. We make a lot of video demos. We tell stories in Adobe using video tools, and we create that because that's the best way to be able to show this. Like you can show everything in a Word document, but the best way to do it is like making a live demo like this and get directly feedback from people. And so, yeah, I record so much videos, and we use Frame all the time. Yeah.
And so that
brings us to our other sponsors in the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it brings us full circle. We're about to close out here, but it does bring us full circle in that right at the beginning, we got a sense of who you are and why you're doing this, which is great. And we also got the sense that you're doing this to help sound designers be better and to allow other people to do sound design as well. So you've just provided a suite of tools, or you're providing a suite of tools that are going to make everyone's lives faster, simpler, easier to be able to deliver good sound design. You're an absolute star. Thank you so much, Adolfo. Shall we give a shout out to our sponsors again?
Absolutely. I'll do the quick screen share of our sponsors. Well, first of all, APPE, that's our Facebook group. As you can see, we've got stuff going on. I got my, there you go. Some funny little pop-ups. But basically, this is why we're here originally. Our Facebook group, 29,000 members. It's been awesome. And our sponsors who were in early and helped us do this, pay for our streaming here. Lucid Link. Thanks, Rupert. Gargana. Be awesome. Digital Anarchy. Jim Tierney. Jim, love you, brother. Yeah, and so basically that's it. We're going to come into the final bit of the show here. Adolfo, are you there? It seems your camera's off.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I got kicked out from my meeting room.
Righty ho. Well, we are 4 minutes over. I
Right.
want to say that seeing as you're always inside, I'm going to show this one last image of you. You're not just a pretty face. You're not just working in the studio in dark rooms locked away. You're actually out there getting sunshine.
Yeah,
And that's,
I'm
yeah.
out there with my family. I mean, with my kids, my wife. Like, yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I love the outdoors. It's one of the reasons why I love living in the Pacific Northwest, to be honest.
Okay.
Cool
Well,
stuff.
thank you so much, Adolfo.
No, thank you.
Also,
This is amazing, and I mean, I'm here for all of you. Like questions, concerns, please. I'm really open to all of this. I mean,
Richard, if you've got a sorry, Richard Stark has just said no room for questions. We've been waiting for them. They've not appeared so far. If you have a question,
Ask a question, Richard.
Otherwise, we can forward it on to Adolfo, and we'll get the answer and get it back to you, Richard.
Absolutely.
But we've kind of reached. It's been a bit of a packed show, but Adolfo, thank you so much. I'd love to have you back on. So would Carl. We'd love to have you back in to discuss where this is going. And all of you out there, they're looking for feedback. The team are looking for feedback. Oh, here we go. Richard Starkey, can you use Firefly without voice, for example? Can you just say add whooshes for the sword swipes?
Yes.
Good question, Richard.
That's you can use Firefly just to generate any sounds. It will not sync it to the video. So, but you can just type any sound with a text to prompt and just adjust the duration. So you have the duration slider that you can say, I want a 5-second sword whoosh, and you will get a 5-second sword whoosh. So yeah.
One more question. Can you specify that you're looking for sound only? Yeah, when you're doing the search, you can, yes.
Yeah, you can search for everything or just search for sound. So yes, you can specify that. Yeah.
Oh, this is the big question. I already know the answer. Adolfo, make it work in productions for projects that are not actually active, because really we need Adobe to know that the MAM works. Please, Media Asset Manager.
I know that this is an ask, and I know that the team is looking into that. I think when we released Media Intelligence, this was one of the first asks. It's a lot more complicated than just looking into your projects, and we're trying to just make sure that we're building the right architecture and the good system, so it doesn't affect performance and create slowdowns in your workflows. Yeah.
And one last question, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Just one last question.
How long till we go?
Richard's on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
ISO labels in the timeline.
It's something that I'm working on. So yes, showing the XML metadata in the clips to be able to know, just coming from the sound recordings and be able to see the labels, if it's a lap mic or a boom mic, and who it is. I know it's something that is crucial for that. We're trying to figure out something of how XML metadata propagates into the timeline as well. So yes, this is something that I'm looking into it. I would love for you guys to see my backlog of things that I collect from all the forums and even personal things that I just like when I work with it. We're working really hard to try to go one by one through it. So it's just not innovation. We're really trying to find a good balance between core audio workflows and innovation. Like we can't have one without the other, but we cannot stop innovating as well. So it's really kind of like to bring this to parity. And the good thing is like we have a dedicated audio team now. So there's an audio team that is in Germany, an amazing team in Hamburg that is working really hard to make this happen. So we're just like, we're humans. So we're trying to take one step at a time and just trying to see how far we can get with what we've been reading.
And this is why also your feedback is important. So Richard, never any need to say sorry. That's really good. No. Good questions. Move everything forward. So great questions. Thank you, Richard, so much for those. Adolfo, thank you so much. Kyle.
Thanks, buddy. I dropped my mic down my shirt. Sorry for being distracted. Okay. Signing off. Thank you. We're almost 10 minutes over. Great show. Adolfo, I love you, man. I love your passion. I love everything you're doing. And you really are representing the artist in this, the digital canvas that we're working with, right? The digital tools are evolving for the artist because of your passion. It's amazing.
I'm trying to do my best. And I mean, this is, I mean, it's my dream job, and I can say it with my heart about this. So I will not stop until we get what we need. We are the artists, we're the creators, we're using these tools. So it's a hard road, but it's a tough road, but we will get there. Yeah.
Good. And by the way, you were officially today's prettiest guest.
Always.
I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome. On that note, all right. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much. Hitting the end stream.
Thank you.